this game happened. I think it's about time that we cover a game that's gotten about as much acknowledgement as my top 10 upload schedule. Paper Mario Color Splash is quite possibly one of the most underrated video games ever made. It was instantly denounced by many fans for being Sticker Star 2, but for those of us who actually gave it a chance, didn't we have a great time? By far, the best thing about Color Splash was its insanely good level design, diverse environments, interesting events, great music, and so much more. It really was a treat to play through, so with that said, let's have a prismatic time. I'm not gonna lie, Port Prisma's a pretty nice place. Vibrant, happy, they got a 10 out of 10 fountain, we definitely can't forget that. It's home. It really is home. This is such a nice safe spot where we can hide and forget about all fears. But unfortunately for us, Bowser did an oopsie. He did a really bad oopsie. So despite this warm welcome home we have, we must leave onward to our adventure. This is up to no debate. The first level is always the most important level in any story-based game, so when it's as good as Cherry Lake, woof, that's a good sign. Number 10 on our list is the Cascade Kingdom of Paper Mario. This level does a flawless job of filling its purpose. Cherry Lake is amazing at teaching you how the game works. Before you even enter the level, Cherry Lake teaches you about the cutout mechanic in an amazing way. Get around the gate, rip it open, and you've entered one of the most peaceful environments in the game. From its relaxing, welcoming music to the pretty papery lake, Cherry Lake is gorgeous. Once you're in the level, Cherry Lake continues to introduce new things beautifully. Introducing max card ups through a very amusing Shy Guy, reinforces the cutout mechanic really well, teaches you what things are, and it gives you some nice paint stars. From a story perspective, there's not much going on here, except for Toad's Superman. That name's more fun than Justice Toad. This guy's great. You find him completely naked, he hides behind a bush, then hides behind the other side of the bush in front of the player, which I still find funny. He's happy, funny, charming, he sees himself as some powerless superhero, until Plot says no and just gives him random telekinesis. Then he's all like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. What a legend. Part of me wanted to take this off the list due to its simplicity, but that's mainly why it's so good. That's the beauty of it. Now, it's not very interesting compared to some other levels, but its fantastic design landed it a spot, and the fact that this is only number 10 just goes to show how good this game's level design is. I love when a game doesn't tell me everything, when it hides things. Any ominous anything in a given game is definitely gonna catch my eye. Not seeing the full picture can bring vast improvements. It skyrockets my interest. When I have no clue what or why something is, my full attention is there. So put on the show. After all, you are a theater. I love the mystery in this one. Mossrock Theater is an interesting specimen with its setting. Upon entry, you really can't tell what it is. It's stated to be a theater, after all, it's in the name, but you're really gonna call this dark, gloomy, foggy forest a theater? Well, maybe it is. Or was. Maybe Mossrock Theater was an ancient grand theater overtaken by nature. This explains the Mossrock part of the name. However, this is your last obstacle before Lemmy and the Emerald Circus, so I believe that this is the audition grounds for the Grand Circus. No matter how you interpret it, there's no right or wrong answer. Mossrock Theater earns its spot for how mysterious it is, and this is just setting alone. The music is also incredibly suspicious, like it's hiding something. It's so creepy that a Toad comments on how creepy the music is. God, I love this game's writing. But after all, it is hiding stuff. That hidden stuff is its amazing design. Mossrock makes enemies seem interesting. This level seems like vast, foggy emptiness, until enemies start popping out of nowhere, giving you a whole show, and hiding circus bros behind massive curtains. And when you encounter these guys, the music is so wholesome. That's what makes this level so weird. It's somehow creepy, mysterious, wholesome, and endearing at the same time. Sure, Mossrock Theater isn't very interesting with its design, but that's not the point. The mood that this level gives is insane. I've never had a video game make me feel like this before. Incredible. And curtain. In life, we're powerless. It takes us and throws us around like ragdolls, and whatever happens, happens. Maybe this is why we play video games, to escape reality. But it's still in charge. Yeah, you can hack the game, you're probably thinking, and my response is no, shut up, I'm trying to be deep, but it's not enough. At any moment, it can strip you of any and all resources at any given time, or it can place you in environments where you're clearly not in charge. It's really immersive, and while Mondo Woods did a great job with this, it's even more immersive when you become an unstoppable god in the very next level. This is bar none the most amusing level in the game. All shall bow before my papery soles and overalls. Oh yeah, we're talking about level design. We'll play Overlord later. Right off the bat, things seem a little weird. The forest is massive, but the previous level was giant. Enter a pipe and things go back to normal. Walk forward and, well, everything's tiny. Everything in sight, or lack of sight, gets massacred by Mario, god of hammers and stomping, and the game acknowledges your godly power too, whether it be intimidating cutscenes playing and then panning out to Mario's perspective. Taking on literal armies with zero effort, or being able to avoid all enemy encounters simply by stepping on them. But the fun doesn't stop at being an unstoppable deity, however. Sacred Forest also treats you to an amazing and very amusing fight with Kamek. He steals your cards, makes you small by weaponizing your own karma against you, and verbally abuses and amuses you. Abuses you. Take that one, Merriam-Webster. That better be a new word. As you probably already realized, Sacred Forest is on here purely for its comedy. Sure, it's not a very original concept, but Color Splash takes it and runs with it, and that's something I can respect. So the level themes thus far have been pretty simple, a small water level and 2 forests, and already we're throwing this principle away. All aboard a train repair station. At Toad Trainworks, your duty is to repair the beautiful Sunset Express after it got crushed at Kawano Temple on its way to Tangerino Grill, and this'll be a tough job. Step into the Trainworks and you'll quickly realize that this isn't your typical crazy adventure. There's no parallel dimensions, no underwater game shows, no God's Playground in the shape of a forest, nah, just a repair station. Color Splash is so good with this. This game is so good at taking otherwise boring locales and making them charming and entertaining. God, this game could likely make a gas station look fun. So how does Toad Trainworks succeed despite the level being the size of a building? Charm. That's how. The characters, despite being more Toads, are full of personality. The foreman at the Trainworks is very likable, the Toads working there are amusing, and the Toads inside the train are amazing. The part with them yelling at you might be my favorite part in the game. These Toads make this puzzle way more fun. I say puzzle because the premise of this level is to put the Express back together. It requires a bit of thinking to do what and when. It's not too easy or too hard. It's built really well, despite being in pieces. Irony. And when you finish, you get to witness the most wholesome moment in the game. Toad Trainworks makes you happy. It's obviously not interesting by a design standpoint, but the characters, neat setting, and general mood are what make this level as amazing as it is. I hate that this is number 7 because of how much I love this level, but I guess we need to make decisions. God, this game is so good. Many people probably don't realize this, but comedy might just be one of the most important aspects in an adventure game. You don't want your journey to save the world to be 100% gritty, unless your name is Asra or Kratos. Can we please put these guys in Smash? But this is why Color Splash is so freaking good. Yeah, you're on a serious journey, but you get to embrace a lot of humor and it makes the game entertaining as a whole. Color Splash has a fair amount of comic relief levels, one of which was just covered. But at the end of the day, Toad Trainworks was the rest stop, the intermission. So now that our train is chugging and choo-chooing, let's get to the real destination, shall we? Gordon Ramsay's gonna have an aneurysm. Up next, we have the greatest 1.5-star restaurant known to man, Tangerino Grill. And like Toad Trainworks, this level is entirely comedic. Once you finally make your way to the restaurant, you'll find that the kitchen has been overrun by Shy Guys and the head chef is terribly injured because the Toads haven't dealt with enough crap already. Clean out the kitchen, save everyone, and then the grill is in the clear. However, we still have to make our Mamma Mia pizza for our starving customers. We do this with nothing but our totally sanitary hammer and feet. You can see where the 1.5 stars come from. Slam the dough, stomp the onions, slam the toppings, because who needs picking up stuff when you have a hammer, and cook that Mamma Mia pizza. Oh yeah, and if you do bad, you have to start all over and buy ingredients that are already in the kitchen. Once you please the Toads, you'll find out that pizza isn't the only thing you're making. You're also making steak for the VIP customer that the head chef forgot about. God, I love this level. Serve a perfect steak and get your paint star from the VIP customer. I feel like having Tangerino Grill on here is cheating. It's not a level, it's raw comedy disguised as a level, and for that, it can't get any better. Wait, hold on. You cook Larry's steak by fighting it as a mini-boss? Well, wow, it just got better. I found it really odd that there really weren't any bona fide desert levels in this game. Marmalade Valley is basically a big canyon, Kawano Temple is, well, a temple, Toad Trainworks is a rustic repair shop, Tangerino Grill is a restaurant, and Sunset Express is an evening train ride. So having this small cafe fill this void is very nice. And speaking of void, that's where the desert comes from. Outside you see a nice little cafe, but fall into that sinkhole, and then you enter the underground desert dungeon, and all three of these aesthetics are blended perfectly. When you first enter the area, you have a slight problem. Huey kinda dies, but that's okay because you have a hammer. Resurrect the bucket and continue on your way. Soon you'll meet up with the chef and owner of the cafe. If your stereotypical surfer dude was a toad, it would probably be him. Make your way through some puzzles and eventually you'll find the exit pipe of the cafe. Everything seems smooth sailing until you're captured and trapped in the Sniffit dungeon. This right here is the best part of the level. The prison is well designed, the Sniffits are rather amusing, and it's a unique environment that is tied in very well. And that's why this level is so good. You have your typical Mario underground level and desert level with dungeon on the side, but all three of these are blended so perfectly. Even in the music, it's the 1-2 music we all know and love, but it's a desert remix. Sure, Mustard Cafe isn't as amusing as Godzilla Forest or as funny as Tangerino Steak Fight, but it's up here for its beyond solid level design. The layout is great, it's a unique environment, the dungeon was built nicely, and the list goes on. An amazing desert level, and it gets all my love. Despite the fact that we're talking about good Color Splash levels, let's bring up the atrocity that is Chateau Chanterelle. It's bland, boring, and there's nothing in it. It's just a toad house. This level is terrible, but that's exactly why I love it. Confused? Here's the reason. I think it's bad on purpose. You see, near the end of the game, on the Green Star route, you come across another toad house that is basically a palette swap. So with your expectations below rock bottom, I bet you'd be surprised that this is the most game-changing level in the game. Literally. Talk about a slap in the face. Green Energy Plant always manages to impress me. The amount that this level blows your expectations away is insane. But you sly devs, I saw through your psychological tricks. Not quite top 3. When you get to the plant, you'll notice there's a power problem. Fix the power outage, and then you realize why Mario is a plumber and not an electrician. With the power back, you can now jump into the TV because Huey's so stupid he's smart. And guess what? It's Mario 3 time. Having Paper Mario in Mario 3 is so captivating, enough that you won't notice this massive wall blocking all progress. That is, until Huey decides that we're playing Super Paper Mario. You'll use the dimensional flip, or perspective change, I guess, to progress through the level. Not only is this super funny to have another reference, but the way it's designed around 1-1 and 1-2 is absolutely incredible. It's not just nostalgia. The fact that Color Splash blended these two vastly different games is absurd. Now, there still is fan service like the remixed battle music and the other referenced games, but that's not all of it. Green Energy Plant is a genius blend of great level design, fan service, and big brain mind games, so I thank the Chateau for its sacrifice. It definitely made an impact. Notice how our list has gotten increasingly wacky. Well, this is our peak. Vortex Island, in my not-so-humble opinion, is the wackiest level in the game. As to why this island is wacky, we first need to know the goal. Our boat has made it to the next paint star. However, it's surrounded by a whirlpool that'll rip the ship apart in seconds, so a detour is taken to the nearest island. Enter Vortex Island. The atmosphere of this place is so odd that it works. The island is kinda dark and gloomy, but also grand and upbeat at the same time. Based on the atmosphere alone, there's something up with this level. Then you learn about the parallel world. Because it's Mario, you thought we'd just be on some boring old beach? Nah, we have Blue Bay Beach for that. You enter this place through a special pipe, and once you're in, everything's flipped on its head. Day becomes night, Koopas and bloopers become dry bones and booze, all of the water is completely gone, and the music sounds like what might play if you pirate the game. Even the battle music changes like in Green Energy Plant, and if you thought, hey, a polar opposite alternate dimension sounds like a great way to make a puzzle, you're most certainly right. Here's why this level's awesome. The parallel world is really exciting to enter, not just because it's a parallel world, but because the game does a really good job at subtly giving the whirlpool a ton of mystery. No whirlpool constantly switches from clockwise to counterclockwise rotation. That's something a washing machine would do. Oh wait, would you look at that? But here's the thing, there's two other levels that have the same gimmick. so why does Vortex receive my praise? Well, the parallel world gimmick was fresher on Vortex, and Vortex's great level design and super clever puzzle was way superior to Lighthouse and Fortune Island. Truly one of the most unique environments the Big Red M has ever seen. Alright, the best boss level in the game, of course it's Ludwig's. Colonel, this is Mario. I've infiltrated the fort. You know I had to make that joke, but it's only fitting that the best Koopaling gets the best boss level, and good God did Ludwig von Koopa's Fort Cobalt blow me away. Everything on this list has stood out for one big thing: Vortex Island's creativity, Mossrock Theater's atmosphere, Mustard Café's pure level design, and the list goes on. Compile these all in one, and you have the fort. That Metal Gear joke wasn't for nothing. Fort Cobalt excels at making you feel sneaky and cool. Whether it's the stealthy and mysterious music, the hordes of Shy Guys standing guard, Cobalt's cold and metallic design, or the fact that the first thing you encounter is literally a toad in a cardboard box, you know I'd army crawl around this entire level if it was possible. But stealth aside, Fort Cobalt is equipped for some CQC. Ludwig needs some good bodyguards for the super weapon he doesn't finish in time. Have I ever mentioned that I love this game's writing? I don't need jokes when they're written for me, and boy do these bodyguards do their job well. Ninjas, Shy Guys with guns, Shy Guys with metal armor, Shy Guys with helmets, Shy Guys with Ultra Instinct, and more. Throw great puzzles and sweet level design on top of these awesome fights, and you have yourself something special. But we still have the best fight to cover. Ludwig, the classically trained Koopa, has the second best fight in the game, beaten out only by Roy. Ludwig sits far off on his halfway finished battleship or submerged with his submarine, giving him the unique privilege of being the only boss in the game that you cannot directly attack. Add the second best boss track in the game, beaten only by Roy, again, and you have something amazing. Fort Cobalt is perfect. Amazing design, amazing puzzles, amazing environment, amazing enemies, amazing fight, amazing everything. Perfect, however, doesn't cut it for being the best. The best is for those that are beyond perfect. But before we get to the number one pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Sunset Express. Sunset Express is without a doubt the second best boss level in the game. To be completely honest, a lot of the boss levels weren't very interesting, but despite not making the list, Larry still pulled through. The Sunset Express is a very interesting level with a very interesting design. Despite not being a bona fide location, Sunset Express still is a well-designed level. Larry is also one of the better fights in the game. It wasn't enough to beat Cherry Lake, but think of this as the number 11. Black Bowser's Castle. It should be obvious that Color Splash's finale would get mentioned in some way. Black Bowser's Castle is a very cool and kinda disturbing level. There's something really cool about watching Bowser's devastation come to fruition. While blowing up the black paint supply is fun, that's about all the interest that comes out of this level. The castle is carried by its two boss fights, though. As established earlier, Roy is the best fight in the game. The idea of using your own paint against you was super unique, and the music slapped. The Bowser fight was great too. It's really interesting that the fight was a confidence test. You can bring the pain, but do you have the confidence to take it back? Especially with his weird block timing at higher reserves of paint. Black Bowser's Castle is a great finale with great fights, but unfortunately didn't deliver in the level design department. Mondo Woods. I brought this one up earlier, but let's actually go over Mondo Woods. Mondo Woods is the exact opposite of Sacred Forest. You are weak. I don't have much to say about this one, and that's why it missed the cut. It was a cool concept, but nothing about Mondo Woods really stood out, and it was simply beaten by other forest levels such as Mossrock Theater and Sacred Forest. Everyone is afraid of something. If you were to go up to me and say that you had no fears, I would laugh in your face and call you a liar, because whether you want to admit it or not, Everyone has a fear of the unknown. Are there actual aliens outside our planet? What is in the bottom of the sea? Is there a bottom of the sea? And ghosts. Are there actually spirits walking around our Earth that we can't see, can't notice? And the scary thing is, there is no answer. We don't and won't know. So interpretations of said questions are always intriguing. And when they're done right, yeesh. Is it a stretch to say that this is the best ghost level our mustachioid plunger person has ever seen? Ghostly Galaxy's top-notch design, Peepa's Fog Bog's incredible atmosphere, and Big Boo's Haunt's unsettling sound design, all in one level. Meet Serena Beach's roided cousin, Dark Bloo Inn, and the hotel nails all of the aforementioned concepts, especially the atmosphere. Dark Bloo Inn has one of the most interesting tracks I've ever heard, and the main reason is that it perfectly encapsulates everything amazing about this level. It's really creepy, but also optimistic and hopeful. This is insane for a ghost level. The ghosts aren't the big spooky scaries they're presented as, which, by the way, is done really well. Once uncovered, it is revealed that all of a sudden, there's no reason to be scared. These are spirits sitting in limbo trying to do one last thing before ascending into heaven, and the music perfectly describes this before you even learn the plot. Incredible. And through your duty to bring these ghosts to the afterlife, you still encounter Color Splash's heaping amounts of charm throughout this ghostly hotel puzzle. Don't start thinking that I'm gonna overlook the fact that this level is incredibly well designed. The ghosts are hidden in clever ways, the tasks you have to do for them are really well thought out puzzles, the fact that the hotel is stuck in some Groundhog Day looking infinite time loop, and it's all with Color Splash's humor and charm. But on top of this, Dark Bloo Inn is the most rewarding level in the game to beat, not just because it has the most wholesome ending in the game, but also because you get a max card up out of it. Dark Bloo Inn is the only level in the game where I really feel like I did something amazing beating it, and that is truly special. So with that, it's Flying Boy, and if there's any game that really deserves a second chance, it's Color Splash. This game was absolutely fantastic, and looking back on it, it's kind of weird that my first regular official list was on such a weirdly specific topic like this. Well, it was still fun. Pokemon is another series that is very near and dear to my heart, and if you're gonna talk about Pokemon, then this topic has to be at hand. And honestly, this'll probably be my most controversial video to date. Next time, Top 10 Pokemon.